Samaritans, to me, from what I've heard, they're an organisation which are there to help people like me or my age who've had certain problems in their life.
Well, I learned that the Samaritans is mostly for people who are suicidal, and I believe that it should never get to the point where you will actually kill yourself.
With the Samaritans, there's some things that I tell my friends, you know what I mean, there's some things I wouldn't, you know what I mean, and if you can just phone up someone, you don't know who they are, they don't know who you are, you know what I mean, you can
but they can help you, it's good.
Yeah, it's all good, you know what I mean.
We're here to support people when they're feeling down, feeling emotionally upset, or sometimes if they're even feeling suicidal. And to be able to say that aloud to somebody who isn't going to tell you what to do, or say you're wrong, or say you're right, I think must be a great thing to hear. A lot of people think we're a religious organisation because of our name, but we're not. It was given to us by the Daily Mirror back when we started over 50 years ago, and they called us the Good Samaritans. And we've stuck with the name because people know what we do.
I guess felt like the whole thing of being popular, fitting in, feeling accepted, feeling wanted.
The pressure put on people is from these groups where people have identified with this certain group.
I think there's a lot of pressure between friendship groups. What happens when people call Samaritans?
You'll be greeted on the phone by somebody who won't be judgmental, will be completely confidential, won't try to offer you advice, but will try to help you to talk about your problems and basically give you that platform. And I think that it's essential to talk about the problems you have. If you bottle things up, and if you can't talk about your problems freely, then things just get worse. You know, it's the middle of the night and you're thinking about maybe not being able to go to school tomorrow, and you don't tell anybody about that and why you're feeling that way and how it feels to be you in that situation. And then all that's going to happen is that you're going to feel worse and worse and worse unless you talk about it.
They can contact us through a range of methods. They can phone, they can visit us face to face, they could text us, they can email us, and we also go out to festivals and events where they can meet us, and we can offer the same support we offer in the centre there.
You know, fashion magazines, you should be skinny, and you should eat this. If you don't do this, you're not this. And, they shouldn't tell you what to do.
What we're told to do from people around us, it's just our whole environment is a lot. It's not particularly just peer pressure, it's just all over pressure to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Even though people tell you stuff, you're gonna go do it anyway, you know what I mean?
All the calls are centred around the caller. It's a space where they can actually talk about their own feelings.
We're not advice giving, we just listen.
You don't know all the facts. I mean, I could tell you what to do, but it might be you've not told me everything. It's important that the caller finds out what they want to do. It's their lives and it's not for us to dictate what they should and shouldn't do.
I don't think it's exaggerated at all. I think so much better, especially teenagers. There's just so much, but it's one thing that you get judged on. You know, within 3 seconds of meeting someone, you automatically look at what they're wearing, what they look like, and that's the thing that you judge.
I mean, you judge someone else immediately on how they look.
I mean, you make judgments before you know someone because that's all you got to go on, innit? But when I'm walking down the street, someone will see me and behave to me, like, oh, he's gonna steal something or whatever, So then it makes you think in your head,
that's what I am.
That's what you are. So then you start acting that out, you know what I mean? So even if you didn't want to choose it in the first place, because of the way people stereotype you and that, then that's how you become.
If you feel you have a problem and you can't talk to anyone else, then you should feel able to call Samaritans.
It can be anything. It can be from what seems like a really trivial matter, such as an argument with a friend, up to people who are feeling suicidal or making self-harm attempts. That really, anything that's bothering them, they should be bothering us about it.
We could be bullied, as we all know, body image, if you're too fat, too thin.
I think it's too easy for some people to get hooked on stuff, drugs, especially around other friends that can get them easy. That's it's too easy sometimes.
I think what happened with my friend is he got drawn into this group of friends and they're just kind of It became like this was his life. Like it's his whole life he has to make a decision because he's got drawn into this group of friends and it's become this thing. And I think it's very hard for people when they get involved in drugs to kind of draw away from it.
We offer something that's got a rather grand title called third-party referral, which actually isn't as highfalutin as it sounds. If you're worried about a friend, you can call us and say, my friend Sam is really upset and could you talk to them? And we will phone Sam for you.
I think it depends so much on who you are, whether physical bullying or verbal bullying hurts you more.
I think sometimes an anti-bullying policy is just a sheet of paper and it doesn't actually help the actual bullying, because the actual bullying is physical, it's actually happening. And just a piece of paper is not going to make any difference if they really, really don't like you.
But everyone else used to have their fights and things and arguments. But then I'd always stick up for my friends, and then the people would just think, oh, forget them, let's start on him.
I've been out to schools and I've given reasons why people want to kill themselves. And up the list was because I have spots. And people laugh. Yeah, you would think, why would you want to kill yourself? Because you've got spots. But to that poor girl who was suffering from her acne, to her it was bad enough for her to want to kill herself. So everything is relative to the caller. It could be a big thing like the death in the family of your mum, dad, or a grandparent or a brother or sister, but it could be that you've got spots.
I knew that my father was going to die when I was 13, 14, 3 years before he in fact did. It was a very, very tough time for everyone who knew us and everyone who knew me and everyone who knew not just me but my family. I found that the experience of having to deal with him as he was dying, knowing there was nothing I could do to stop him from dying, it was such an emotional time. It's probably why I grew up so much within that space of a year. Then I learned no matter how strong you can be, no matter how much you didn't see eye to eye with your father, yeah, I miss him.
Of course it upsets you. A lot of the calls that come through, I step back and think, my goodness, you're going through so much, I don't know how you're coping. I don't think I'd be able to cope as well as you are, with what's going on in your life. And it does upset you, but the human element, and that's why people call us, is the fact they don't want robots.
We've got a really good support network at Samaritans. There's someone else on duty with you, and there's always someone down the end of the phone if you need to contact someone else. And then beyond that, there's a team that you can discuss any issues that are going on in your life.
If the caller wants to give us their information, that's fine. But everything that's said is confidential between you, the volunteer, and also other volunteers within the centre, because sometimes you have to talk and discuss the problem, but it doesn't go outside of the centre.
I like the feeling that I'm here for people if they need me, and that I can maybe help some of them by talking through their problems with them.
I like it. I mean, it's a strange way to say it, but it is this thing of trying to help and actually feeling that you're doing something to help someone that may be in a difficult situation. And it's also, I mean, people tell you very personal things and you feel kind of privileged in a way that someone will open up to you, so it's a great thing to do.
I mean, even today, I don't know how I survived. I don't know how I still do survive. But every now and then, we cannot be ashamed to show our tears and cry. What can you do? You can just talk. Let them understand what's going on. People have been there for me. This is what I feel the Samaritans can help people out with. Being there at times of crisis to help people when they go through emotional experiences like I've been through.